Hi everyone, it's Cindy here from Plenty of Knots. Today I want to show you how to make a pretty little bracelet. My last one in my last tutorial was this one here, and today I'm going to make one out of these little beads that I picked up from Spotlight. It's and that was the colour Just Beads, and that's the beads there. There's a whole stack that come on that, and today I'm just going to use these five beads and probably just one on either end as well, which will be probably these little ones here, which came with the set. They're just a little gold bead. We'll just put those on the end. If you wanted to, you can put a little bead on each end. These ones came with the set, so I might just pop those on, but they have like a hole on the side there, and that probably will work okay for the ends, or we'll just use those, we'll see. So what you need to do is feed on, I've just got this cord that I picked up from any place. It's just like a nylon cord. Obviously you need to look at the thickness of the cord compared to the holes that you have. There's a lot of beads that you can't put them through, so we're going to work on that. So I've just popped them onto the one cord, and I'm using another cord which I've just measured to about 1.5. I'm going to fold that in half for this bracelet. This bracelet's about 12 inches in length. There's my inches there, or about 30.5 centimeters. So we'll pop that to the side. Make sure you got some scissors to cut with, and grab a couple of those pins. They're really handy. You can pick up packs of those as well, which are really cool, these pins, and just stick them on to your felt, and you can hold things in place. So basically, if we've got a 12 inch bracelet, we want to go to about 6 inches, and the center one, make it the 6 inch mark, so you can pop a little pin there if you wanted to. But we're going to start back before that with this cord. So make sure your ends are together. You've got the two ends together. If you don't want them to fray, you can pop a little bit of glue on them to stop them from fraying. I would do that definitely when you're threading through the actual beads, but we don't need it for this. So I'm going to go to about the 3 inch mark, and we'll do a knot there to start with. So just feeding it under the center cord. Just tie a little knot in there and take it up to that pin there. All right. So on this one, what I'm going to do is the spiral knot. So we're going to do the same thing on the same side each time, and it will actually twist. So take your yarn across, and then bring this cord over and feed the end in underneath the main cord and through the D there, the backwards D, and pull it tight. I'll show you again. Fold it across the top, fold this yarn or this cord over the top, and then pop it through underneath. So get that like that, and then pop the whole thing through underneath underneath the main one and through the D there. And we're going to do that a few times. So go across, pop it over. So you're crossing it here, popping it underneath the main one and into that space, the D space there, pull it through. And that's all we're going to do on this. We'll do the square knot as well, and I'll show you how to do that. Now as it twists, just bring the yarn to the opposite sides. And do the same again. When we get down to the beads, we'll do a square knot in between each bead, but we'll do the twists on either side. The twist knot on either side I think would look nice. So just I'll keep going until I get, so I want these beads to be centered. So until I get down to about 5 and a bit inches, I'll stop and you do the same. And then I'll show you what to do next. I've come down to about the 5-inch mark, 13 centimeters, with the beautiful spiral knot, as you can see there. So on the next one, I'm going to do the knot on the other side, just to straighten it up. So folding, create a D, fold over this way here, pass it underneath the loop and the main cord and through the D loop there, and that will just secure that in spot. So you can see there's a little, I'll show you. There's just a little one on that side there, you can see. So the rest is just a spiral, which is beautiful. And then we've just secured it with a square knot. If it comes undone, do it on the other side as well. So we'll do it so that it locks that little square knot in there. And it's on the same side. Let's try that again. So to get this little knot over here, we go across, yarn over the top there, over the cord, tuck it around and through there, and we'll lock that in, pull it tight. There you go. So you should end up with the cord on the opposite side. Pull it nice and tight, and you should have the cord on the opposite side there, that knot. Alright, so that's what we want and at the moment, so I'm going to just pin that back down again. The next step is we've got all these beautiful beads, so I'm going to do individual ones with a square knot in between. So yarn back over like we did before, but around the knot this time, around the actual bead. We're going to do the knot, pull tight, and then secure with the other side, and pull tight. So you can see there's a square knot there. Okay, pull it nice and tight, move the bead up, and then we'll do the same again. So yarn across the right side cord, tuck it underneath both cords and pull it back. Make sure, let's do that again, we go under the bead. So cross it over, tuck it under. That's the first of the square knot, and then we're going to do it again with this side going over the top. and tucking that under through the loop. Pull it tight, and we'll move a bead up, and we'll do the same again. Pull it tight, and then we'll lock it in with the other side. So pull tight, pull it in to lock that in, and move it up, and we'll do the same again. So yarn over that way, pull under, and pull up, and reverse. So your cord over the top there, slip it underneath the two and through the knot, the loop there, sorry. Pull it tight. And as you do this, you're keeping it nice and tight as we go up, and we'll do the next one. And then we're going to go back to doing that spiral knot to finish this off. So I'll show you. That's what we have so far. You've got your spiral, your little square knot there, 1, 2, and then into doing square knots after each bead in the center there. We're going to continue with this spiral down the section here of this center yarn. And you can actually, to make sure this is even on both sides, when we're finished we can adjust the center cord to make sure it's balanced, because we want this section here to be running to about there, and we want to make sure it's nice and even, and I'll show you how to do that. But for now, just pin it down again, and I'm going to continue doing the spiral knot this time. So as we were doing before, cross over to the right, over on top. Just going to pin that down again. Just to keep it taut, and then we're going under and pull it tight. Same side again, over the top, crossing on the right side, feeding it under, and just keep doing that until you get the same length as this top one. That top one, we want the same length here. So I'm going to keep doing that, same side, so cross over the front, tuck it around and under through the loop. Pull tight again, pull tight, and again. Keep doing that until you get the length that you wanted, and let it twist. So over to the right, and pull tight, over to the right, pull tight. So cross over the front, use your right cord over the top, tuck it under through the loop. Tight, and tight. So I'll keep going until I have the right length, and I'll show you what's next. So I've come down to about 10 inches. That's about 2 inches of the beautiful 12 sort of knot there, and the same here. I've got 4 to 6, and then I've got the section in between. So I want to actually secure this now, and there's a number of ways you can do it. You can cut it, and you can burn it, you can glue it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a little bit of glue in. I'm just using this craft glue, multi-purpose, it's a clear. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue in there to secure it a little bit as well. So just use a needle and pop a little bit of glue in there so it doesn't come out, and the same underneath the other side. It doesn't come out. Pull it nice and tight, and then we'll cut it and burn it. So I'll show you. Leave a little bit of an end there and an end on the other side, about there, and then we'll just hit it with a flame or something hot would work, and then just touch it on the side there, just so that it sits in and doesn't come out. And that should secure it in place for you. Just push it in place and let it dry. It should be good. So the next step we want to do, now we have our bracelet, and that's looking really pretty. I'll go around your wrist to the back. What we need to do next is just to be able to secure it on your wrist. So that's what we have so far. It's really pretty. And then we're just going to do the underside. So we're going to cross that over. You could probably leave a little bit more yarn just to make it easier for yourself, because we want it to be able to pull back right to there so that we can actually take it off. So that's 12. I've got a big wrist, and that's 12 inches, so that should be easy enough to take off once we do it. So I'm going to pop on a couple of little balls here just on the end, and then we're going to cross it over like that, and we're going to use another piece of this twine, and we'll do a little bit more. It'll be just a across these two sections here, and it'll just be a square knot is what we'll do. So cut yourself another piece, probably give yourself plenty of room. I'd do at least 30 centimeters. Make sure you got plenty, and then we're going to cross over. So you can secure your bracelet again, just popping through a couple of pins. Just want that to cross over. A couple of pins there, and then we're going to feed just about 60 centimeters and just fold that in half like that, and we're going to feed one end behind that one there, and I'll just cross that over. This is where you could, if you left yourself a bit more length, it would be good, but I'll lock those in so they won't go anywhere. Okay, to there and to there, and then we'll just tie a little knot to start with, like that, and then just do your square knot. So fold one over the two, that comes over the front, and then you can tuck this one under the two here and into that circle there, into the D. Pull it tight, and then we'll do the opposite on the other side. So you want that little piece there, just get this out. That little tiny piece to come over this side to be the square knot. And to do that, we just go back. We use this this side here, curl it over the front, this over the top, then tuck the tail through underneath the two and into that D space there, backwards D. Pull it tight, and then we do the opposite again. So now we want the knot to be on this side. So we create a D, take the yarn over the top, and then we thread it through underneath everything, and into that's the D there, and pull it tight. Pull that tight. And we'll just do that a few times until we get a length that we're happy with. It won't come undone. Either side, pull tight. Underneath, pull tight. Now we need to put beads or something on little tied knots, something on the ends of these so that it doesn't come through this piece. These bits here need to have a little knot or something. We'll have a look. It's hard to find beads that you can, tiny little beads that you can feed onto this that will go through, that the actual cord will go through. But we will persist. So through there. I love this cord, it's beautiful. So let's keep going. Just use up the cord a little bit. I think this is probably enough. So that's probably about, just going to measure that. That's probably about 2 centimeters, I'd say, is probably enough. So now we have 2 centimeters, and we do exactly what we did up here. You can put a little bit of glue on. Don't know if we've got any glue here. That's okay. There's a little bit of glue still here. We'll just pop a little bit on and around the knots. Just locks them in place. That's what you want to try to achieve, so it doesn't come undone. Put it on either side, right where you've done your last little loop. And we'll also hit it with a little bit of heat as well, so it doesn't come undone. So we'll trim it. So you can go a bit longer if you want to, it's completely up to you. Give it a little bit of length so we can melt it on. Okay. Melt it onto there. That's beautiful. Get it to grab onto something else so it doesn't come off. Perfect. Now this should move up and down. Make sure it does. And pull. Pull. Yep. Okay. So the next step now is we just want to put a couple of ends on these. So let's see what we can find, what little beads we can put on. We don't want them too big. I'm just not sure if these will go on. They're a bit, I think the holes are a bit small. Yeah. All right. I'll try to find some little beads to go on these ends, and then we can continue. That's looking pretty beautiful at the moment. Happy with that. I'll just grab some more beads. Very cool. I found these little beads which I'm going to pop on the ends. You can just do one if you want, just this individual one here. if that's what you like, yeah, just put the one little one on the end there. If you want it to a little bit fancier, you can put this kind of a little bead on, and then this bead on, and that just gives it that little bit extra on there, which I think is quite pretty. So I'm going to tie a knot into this and probably hit it with the hot, just pull it tight and then just hit it with a little bit of heat to lock it in place. Lock that in. You can take that little bit off. So it melts in place. You can trim that a little bit. And do the same on the other one, so it doesn't come undone. Pop that on first. Give it a little twist. If it feels like it won't go on, you can always heat it a little bit first. If you heat it, I'll just squish it down, give a bit more of a point. Let's see if you can get it on that way. Twist it. And just work it gently through. Twist. This is always the fun part when you've got smaller bead openings. There she is. And just a little bit more. Pop it through that way. And then this one might be a little bit easier. It's a bit of bigger opening. So I would pull that up. We just want to get a bit of room so that we can tie it. We'll get this on first and we'll move it around a little bit. Just want to make sure that's moving. Make sure this end is moving as well. I just don't want that to come off. Okay, let's grab it with this. My fingers aren't strong enough. We'll grab it with a pair of... There we go. Just moving that around a little bit, just so we've got a little bit more to play with to tie a knot. And then we'll heat this one up as well. More thumbs. So just pull it down to the end there, and then we'll heat it again. And push that down, just so it locks it in place. Perfect. So that won't come off now. And there you have, we can open that up. It will get looser over time. Just keep working it, keep pulling on it. It'll loosen up a little bit. It's just tight because it's like just made. So that's wide open, and that's your little beaded ends. So try to pull from the knot, I say, would be easier. That's your little bit in the middle there. Obviously when you're putting it on, open it right up and then you can pop it on your hand. I've got a nice big hand, so you can pull it a bit tighter, have it looser. There you have one very pretty little macrame bracelet. So I hope you like this tutorial. Please stay with me. I'll do another one a little bit different on the next video. See what I can come up with next. But just keep working that knot and it'll loosen up over time. Might be a little bit of glue there, so just pull, keep pulling on it until it loosens up for you. Okay, thank you for joining me on this beautiful tutorial. I'll do another, so like and subscribe, hit the notification bell if you'd like to see what I'm doing next. And until I see you again, please stay safe. Have a fantastic day.